Every single bird in Fernwood Forest could whistle. The robins, the sparrows, the tiny little wrens, they all had their songs. But there was one little fox named Finley, and no matter how hard he tried, no matter how much his cheeks puffed up and his lips scrunched together, all that came out was a soft, sad breath. Not a whistle, not even close. Today, though, today was going to be different, because Finley had a plan. Our story begins on a bright Tuesday morning in Fernwood Forest, where the leaves were just turning gold and the air smelled like pine and possibility. Finley the fox woke up early, earlier than usual, and marched straight to his favorite mossy log. He sat down, took a big breath, and pfft, nothing, just air. He tried again. Pffffff. Still nothing. He flopped back onto the log and stared up at the sky. Just then, his friend Bee the bluebird landed on a branch above him. She tilted her head and sang out a perfect, crystal-clear whistle. Finley sat up. "How do you do that?" he asked. Bee shrugged her little wings. "I just do it," she said. "I've always done it." And that was the problem, wasn't it? For Bee, whistling was easy. It always had been. But for Finley, it was the hardest thing in the whole world. Now, here's the thing about Finley. He could have given up right then. He could have said, "Whistling isn't for foxes," and walked home. And honestly, nobody would have blamed him. But Finley had heard something once from the old badger who lived near the river. The badger had said, "The word to remember isn't can't. It's not yet. Can't whistle. Or can't whistle yet." Those two little letters, Y-E-T, make all the difference. So Finley tried again. He watched Bee very carefully. She made a tiny O shape with her beak. Finley tried to make an O shape with his lips. He blew. Pffffff. Still just air. He tried making the O smaller. Uffed. He tried making it bigger. Pffffff. Nothing, nothing, nothing. His cheeks were tired. His lips felt wobbly. But he didn't stop. He just kept going, one try after another, because that's what trying actually looks like, a little bit messy and a lot of attempts. By lunchtime, Finley was sitting under the big oak tree feeling pretty discouraged. His friend Pip the squirrel scurried over with an acorn and a big smile. "Still practicing?" Pip asked. "I've been trying all morning," Finley said, "and I can't do it." Pip sat down next to him. "You know what I did when I couldn't crack open acorns?" Finley shook his head. "I tried a different way," said Pip. "Maybe you just haven't found your way yet." A different way. Finley liked that idea. So he thought about it. What if he didn't just copy Bee? What if he tried something completely his own? He picked up a fallen leaf from the ground, a wide, flat one, and held it up to his lips. He'd seen the old badger do this once. He blew gently across the edge of the leaf. And then, something happened. A tiny, reedy little sound came out. It wasn't a whistle exactly, but it was something, and Finley's eyes went wide. Scientists who study how we learn, and yes, they study this for real, say that our brains actually form new connections every time we try something challenging. It's called neuroplasticity, which is a big fancy word that basically means your brain is stretchy. The more you practice, the more your brain builds new pathways, like little roads being paved through the forest. Every single try, even the ones that don't work, is your brain laying down more road. Finley put down the leaf and thought about those little roads in his brain. Every failed attempt, his brain was building something. He just couldn't hear it yet. So he tried a new idea. Instead of blowing hard, he hummed first, a low, gentle hum, and then slowly let the hum turn into a blow. Pffff. Pfff. And then, wait, was that? Fwee. A tiny, wobbly, beautiful little squeak of a whistle came out of Finley's mouth. It wasn't loud. It wasn't perfect. It was small and a little bit wobbly, and it only lasted about half a second. But it was real. Finley's tail shot straight up. He spun around. He did it again. FWE. There it was. Pip the squirrel dropped his acorn. Bee the bluebird nearly fell off her branch. Even the old badger, napping by the river, opened one eye. Because Finley the fox who couldn't whistle, had just whistled. Pip ran over and wrapped his tiny arms around Finley's leg. "You did it," he shouted. Bee swooped down and did 3 happy loops in the air. Even a couple of robins who'd been watching from the bushes came out to cheer. And Finley stood there in the golden afternoon light, cheeks hurting from smiling, thinking about all those puts and all those failed tries that had led him right here. Every single one of them had mattered. Every single one had been part of the path. Here's something really worth knowing. A big review of 74 different studies published in 2025, found that perseverance isn't something you're just born with or not. It's not a fixed thing. It grows. It gets shaped by what you do, how you practice, and who helps you along the way. Which means every kid who keeps trying, even when it's hard, even when it feels pointless, is actually building something real inside themselves. Something that'll help them for the rest of their life. That evening, Finley sat on his mossy log again, the same one where he'd flopped down that morning feeling hopeless. But now he was practicing his whistle. It was still small, still a little wobbly, but it was getting stronger with every try. He landed next to him. "You know what's funny?" she said. "I can't dig a burrow. I've tried. I just can't." Finley grinned. "Can't," he said, "or can't yet?" He laughed, and the two friends sat together in the fading light, both of them thinking about what they might learn next. So here's what Finley's story teaches us. When something is hard, really hard, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It might just mean your brain is still building the road. Try a different way, like Finley did with the leaf and the hum. Ask a friend for a new idea, like Finley did with Pip. And remember those two magic letters, Y and E and T. You can't do it yet, but every single try gets you closer. And one day, maybe when you least expect it, out comes the whistle. The end. And if you are working on something hard right now, maybe reading, or drawing, or tying your shoes, or making a new friend, just remember Finley. Keep going. Try a different way if you need to. And don't forget, your brain is building roads right now, with every single try. We'll see you next time in Fernwood Forest, where there's always another adventure waiting.